Let me share a secret with you that most people never quite discover. It's a soft, quiet truth about what really brings a woman closer to you when you first start talking. Most men spend their time worrying about how tall they are, how much money sits in their bank account, or if they look like a famous person in a movie. They think they need to wear the most expensive clothes or say things that sound like they came from a script, but the real power lives inside the words you choose very early on. Small phrases have a way of shaping how someone feels, and those feelings are what create a spark. That spark grows from how she feels in her heart, not just what she sees with her eyes. A lot of men find themselves stuck in conversations that nobody remembers. These talks just fade away as soon as they are over. You've probably felt this happen before. You've walked away from a chat and felt sad thinking, why was that so plain? Why did it feel so ordinary? Or maybe you've been in a room and watched someone else talk to a woman and you saw the whole mood change. Suddenly, she was leaning in toward him. She was smiling a lot more. She was giving him all of her attention in a way that felt different and special. If you've ever felt that or wondered why some talks create a deep bridge between two people, while others just fall apart, the answer lies in understanding certain patterns that repeat again and again. After looking at many real conversations between people, a very clear pattern starts to show up. There are certain ways of speaking that make a person feel curious, safe, and interested almost right away. These are not tricky games or mean puzzles. They are just natural ways that humans react to one another. These reactions happen no matter where a person is from or what their life is like. When you use these words in a way that feels natural to you, the conversation starts to feel truly alive. It gets a nice beat to it. One thing you say makes her want to know more. Another thing you say makes her feel safe and comfortable. A third thing makes her feel like there is a bit of a mystery to solve. When you put them together, they form a hidden path that leads to a real connection without anyone feeling pressured or uncomfortable. We are a group of caring experts who spend our time looking at the heart and the mind. This is a place where we look at how men and women can really understand each other, talk better, and feel a true bond. If you are the kind of person who wants to understand women deeply instead of just trying to memorize a few lines, then you are in the right place. What we are sharing today can truly change the way you talk to people from now on. Think about a moment that almost everyone has had. You meet someone new and you start with the usual talk. You ask things like, "Where do you live?" Or "What is your job?" Or "Did you have a good weekend?" This kind of conversation feels very flat. It is like the air in the room is not moving. Both people are being nice and polite, but neither one feels a real pull toward the other. But then something can happen to change everything. Her eyes might get a little brighter, her shoulders might drop and relax. The talk starts to slow down, but it feels good, not rushed. There might be a little bit of quiet, but it doesn't feel weird or bad. It feels interesting, like something very real is about to happen. That change is not an accident. It is her brain reacting to the feelings you are sharing. That special feeling of being drawn to someone often starts in a tiny fraction of a second, and your words are what lead the way. When you choose your words with kindness and care, they are like light switches that turn her attention toward you. This is why two different men can say almost the same thing, but one man makes the talk feel like magic, while the other man's talk is forgotten as soon as it ends. For a long time, people have studied why some talks turn into a beautiful bond, while others just stay polite and then die out. One of the biggest mistakes men make is trying too hard to say things that sound impressive. They want to look smart. They want to look like they have a big, exciting life. Sometimes they even act like they are on a stage, but a real bond is not built on a performance. A real bond grows when a person feels safe. When a woman feels like you really see her and really understand her, something inside her relaxes. She lets her guard down. That is the exact moment when a real connection starts to grow. These ways of speaking work because they go past the logical part of the brain and speak right to the heart. They are not lines you use to trick someone. They are not about acting. They are just better ways to talk that help a spark grow. They are based on how humans have always connected with each other. People almost never remember every single word you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel inside. Your feelings get stuck in their memory. When you make someone feel good, their brain starts to think of you whenever they want to feel happy, curious, or safe. That feeling is the very beginning of something more. Let's look at the first powerful idea. It is all about making someone curious. Curiosity is one of the strongest feelings we have. When our brain sees a story that isn't finished, it really wants to find the ending. You've probably felt this yourself. If someone starts to tell you a story and then stops right in the middle, you suddenly pay much more attention. You want to know what happened. That is how the mind works. When you use this gently in a talk, you can take a boring chat and turn it into something she will remember. Imagine she tells you a story about her life. Maybe she talks about a hobby she loves, a memory from when she was a little girl, or just something about who she is. Instead of just saying that's nice, you could say something like, you actually remind me of someone. Then you just stop for a second. This shows you are thinking about them. Then you pause and say very softly, actually, it's okay, never mind. And you just keep talking about something else naturally. You don't make a big deal out of it. You don't stare. You just move on like the thought just floated away. That tiny little idea that wasn't finished makes her brain start to wonder. She starts thinking, who did I remind him of? Why did he stop talking? What was he going to say? The most important thing here is to be very light and gentle. You are not trying to be mean or play a game. You are just leaving a little bit of room for her to be interested. And the cool part is that she will often come back to it later. She might smile and ask, wait, you have to tell me? Who did I remind you of? When she asks that, you can give her a very kind and thoughtful answer about who she is as a person. Do not talk about how she looks. Talk about something real. You might say, you reminded me of someone I know who is very calm and makes everyone around them feel happy. When you told that story, I felt that same kind of warmth from you. When you say something like that, you are showing her that you really see her. Feeling seen is one of the biggest reasons people feel a spark, but the real strength of this is that you didn't rush to say it. You gave it some space. You let her imagination work. Imagination is like a big engine for feelings. A lot of the time, the bond grows in the quiet spaces between the words. Now, let's talk about compliments that really matter. Most men try to give compliments, but they don't always do it well. Most compliments do not work because she has heard them all before. If a woman is very pretty, she hears that she is beautiful or that her eyes are nice all day long. After she hears it 100 times, it just sounds like background noise. It doesn't make her feel anything special. It feels like someone just saying the same thing everyone else says. But a compliment that comes from really watching and noticing her is different. It cuts through all that noise because it shows you are paying attention. Paying attention is a sign that you are a smart and caring person. Instead of saying she looks nice, tell her something about her character or the way she acts. For example, you could say, I really liked how you explained that. You are very clear and you think about things deeply. Or, you have a very calm way of making the people around you feel at ease. Notice that these are not about her face or her clothes. They are about who she is on the inside. When someone feels liked for who they are, the feeling goes much deeper. Specific compliments are much better than general ones. They make a person feel glad instead of worried that you want something from them. Fake praise feels like a deal you are trying to make. Real praise feels like a gift. When she feels that you are being real, her whole body starts to relax. When she feels safe, she feels more of a pull toward you. Safety is what allows her to be open and real back with you. When you give this kind of compliment, do it gently. Look at her with soft eyes, then just keep talking like normal. You don't need to wait for her to say, thank you. You aren't doing it to get a prize. You are doing it to share a real feeling. Inside her mind, she will probably feel surprised and then very happy. Those good feelings will start to be linked to you. If you want to be even better at this, you can combine noticing her and being thankful. Imagine you see her doing something small but kind, like making sure a shy person in the group is included. Most people never get a compliment for being socially smart. So if you say, I saw how you made sure everyone got a chance to talk earlier. Not many people notice those things, but I think it's really kind. It will mean a lot to her. It helps her feel good about who she is. These kinds of compliments stay in a person's memory for a very long time. But remember, the timing has to be right. If you say it too fast or if you are too intense, it can feel like too much. It should feel like a natural part of the talk, not a big spotlight. A spark grows best in a soft light, not a bright, scary one. Now let's talk about the third powerful element, which is about intrigue. Some people think being mysterious means being quiet or acting like you are in a movie, but that is a mistake. Real intrigue comes from being honest in a special way. It happens when you share something about yourself that she didn't expect. Maybe it is a small mistake you made, a weird opinion you have, or a little thing that makes you feel a bit shy. This shows you are confident because only a person who feels good about themselves can talk about their flaws in a calm way. That is very interesting to other people. For example, if she asks what you like to do when you are not working, you could say, "I have this kind of funny habit. I really love taking long walks where I don't listen to any music or any talking. I just like the silence." Most people think that is a bit weird. That moment creates a bit of a mystery. It shows how you are when you aren't exactly like everyone else. She will want to know more. These 3 ways of talking are not masks you wear. They are just ways to let your real self come through more clearly. Being real is the most important part. If you aren't being real, these ideas won't work. But when you are being yourself, they help the bond grow much faster. As you start to try these ideas, you will see small changes. She might lean a little closer to you. Her questions might get more serious and thoughtful. She might laugh more. These are all signs that she is really interested in the conversation. There is another small move you can make that changes the energy even more. When she asks you a personal question, instead of answering right away, you can smile and say, "I don't know. What do you think?" This simple little switch does something big in her brain. It makes her use her imagination. And when someone uses their imagination for you, they are putting their feelings into the talk. Suddenly, she isn't just asking questions anymore. She is helping to build the conversation with you. She starts to guess things about you. She looks at you more closely to see if she can find the answer. In that moment, the talk stops being a performance and starts being a dance. But there is a small trick to making this work. You have to pause. Silence is your friend. You don't have to be afraid of it. Silence actually makes your words mean more. If you wait just a tiny bit before you speak, it shows that you are comfortable and relaxed. You aren't in a rush to fill up every second with noise. That calm feeling tells her brain, you are a confident person without you having to say it. Your body helps too. A nice smile, looking her in the eye, and a curious voice are all signals. They tell her brain, this person is happy to be here right now. Being present is like a magnet. Just remember, don't do this too much. If you answer every question with, "What do you think?" it will start to feel like you are hiding something. You have to find a good balance. The big idea here is what we can call being an emotional leader. You aren't bossing the conversation around. You are just leading the energy. It means you stay calm and you invite her to join in. You help the rhythm of the talk without forcing it. When someone feels that calm, let the talk just flows like water. This idea works for everything in life, not just dating. It makes your friendships better and helps you at work. It changes how you show up in the world. Communication is not just about giving facts. It is about how people feel when they are with you. Knowing this isn't enough to change things, though. You have to actually do it. Just pick one of these ideas and try to use it in a real talk with someone. See what happens. Did the mood change? Did the other person seem more curious? Did you talk for longer than usual? As you keep practicing, talking will start to feel much easier. The quiet parts will feel lighter. You will stop trying to get people to like you, and you will just start enjoying the talk. When you enjoy yourself, people naturally want to be near you. They are drawn to people who are happy to be who they are. This is a quiet truth about attraction that a lot of people miss. It isn't usually loud. It grows slowly through many small moments of feeling good, being curious, and feeling at ease. These phrases are just the key to the door. Your real self is what keeps the door open. Be patient with yourself. You won't become a master overnight. You get better bit by paying attention and trying again. Every time you talk to someone, it is a chance to learn, not a time to be judged. When you look at talking as a fun way to learn instead of a stressful test, you will get better without even trying that hard. In the end, a strong bond comes from being clear, being honest, and knowing how people feel. These ideas help lead the way, but who you are is what makes it stick. When you are being real and using these tools, a spark will happen naturally. So take these ideas with you. Speak with a purpose. Listen like you really care. Let the talk happen on its own instead of trying to control it. When you stop performing and start just being, people can feel it right away. And that feeling is what pulls them closer to you. Your words change how people feel more than how much money you have ever will. A man who is truly there in the moment and who speaks with kindness and thought will always create a stronger spark than someone who just has a fancy car. Being smart with your feelings leaves a much deeper mark on a person's heart. Remember, when you slow down and really listen, you stand out. You feel different. You feel calm. You feel like someone people want to be around. That is the real secret to creating genuine human connection.